Hey everyone, welcome back to Headgear Garage. Well, this was supposed to be part 2 of the two-part series for the furnace rebuild and installation, but unfortunately I seem to have somehow lost all of my video of that second part. So what we're going to do is just a quick recap to kind of close out that video series. If you recall, we were working on the Brunco 150 coal/wood fired furnace that I had received and was restoring. As you can see, I did get it finished and installed. It is actually up and running right now, and I've been running it for about a month. When I received this thing, if you saw the first video, which again I will attach a link to that in the description, so you can, if you didn't see it, you can go back and take a look at it. But if you did see the first video, the side panels and the top cover on it were originally red. Obviously I did a lot of work on those in the last videos. You saw me sanding and hammer and we'll call it hammer and dolly work, but it was just pounding the dents out of it. Because if you recall, I had it had been knocked over on its side when they were moving it before I got it. So it had some mangled up parts on it. But anyway, I painted it all black, just because that was the easiest paint for me to find in a good, solid, high temp paint. Got it all painted, got it together. This air filter inlet box for the blower motor back here was really beat up, and please don't judge me on the filter. I do need to change it, it is awful. But it came out really well. The filter goes in and out very easily now. I got it straightened out pretty good. There's the wall access through hole for the 8-inch double wall pipe. The plywood, or the OSB, is cut way back to here. This thing is basically just catching it all the way around. So there's plenty of clearance, and then as you can see, I don't have the insulation up. It is an all steel building, so that is the only combustible material around it, and it is plenty good distance away from it. It doesn't, even the steel itself, this thing's been firing hard all night because it's in the 30s here right now, and that's still obviously cool to the touch. So some of the things we did that weren't on video, well, they were on video, but they're not on video now. I can't really see them now because, as I said, this thing is up and running. You can see it is burning well. But the shaker grates in the bottom for the ash pan, there's a handle right here for them. And I have a handle back there in the wall to latch into it to shake them. One of those had actually, when it got toppled over, it had actually come apart off the mechanism underneath. It's just a series of bars and pins, and one of those pins had come out of the bar. So I had to actually, after I got it all vacuumed out, I had to actually disassemble the back section, the back 4 of those, take it completely out of the machine, or out of the furnace, and put it back together, set it back in there and bolt it all back together. And that was a fun little challenge, working through that tiny little compartment down here in the ash bin, because everything bolts or pins in from the bottom. So I was working through that to do all that, but we got through it and got it working perfectly again. One of the other things we found when I was testing it, doing testing before I put the first fire in it, we checked on the line control for the thermostat. Switches on and off the fans, both the front blower motor for the heater box and the rear blower motor for the plenum actually push the heat out. We found that the rear blower, the big squirrel cage blower for the heater motor, for the fan, for the heat to blow out, was actually, the tab on it was broken off. So it basically, it didn't have a limit on it. It was just running the whole time. So we had to take that out. I ordered a new one, and that's the new one. Obviously replaced it. Ran the wiring in, as you can see, behind all that scrap metal. Wiring goes in, it goes up, and then terminates all the way at the other end of the garage at the fuse panel. It's a switched fuse right here at the unit, and the conduit continues around here. This is just wire run out to go to the thermostat. It was a 120 volt thermostat for this system. It's the way it's wired up, so we got one of those put in it. As I said, it's been running and working phenomenally. The biggest issue I have has nothing to do with the furnace. The furnace is plenty big enough and plenty capable enough for keeping the garage warm, except for the fact that currently I don't have the garage insulated all the way, so the whole front section isn't insulated, and then the ceiling isn't insulated, so you can see daylight around the top yet. I lose a good portion of heat up through there. I do have a ceiling fan, which is running right now. It's one of those larger, close to 8-foot ceiling fans in here, which does do a great job of pulling that heat from the ceiling back down into the working space of the garage. Yeah, there's that. One of the things we didn't get to see go in was when I was installing the flue. That was fun. We'll take you out and show you exactly what I did out there. It turned out really nice though. I'm really happy with it. It isn't snowing too bad right now, so I come out and video a little bit. Here's the flue. That is, it doesn't look like it from here with this angle, but that's up over the roof peak by almost 3 feet, maybe a little more. I don't know. I didn't actually measure it. But my support bracket on the bottom, I had to make something there because I ran out of support structure with this steel building the way they built it. So I just used an old chunk of ladder that I had. I cut it down and dug out a base underneath, filled it full of stone, and put the ladder in there, screwed it fast to it. So working really well. Now in the spring here, as the weather gets a little better, I got to do some concrete work. Watch that. Watch on future episodes. I can't even talk. Watch on future episodes to see that work being done. But when I'm doing that, I'm also going to form this section out and pour a nice 4-inch concrete slab underneath that for support. Honestly, I don't think it's ever going to go anywhere, but I don't want to take any chances. But as you can see, the bracket that came with it, I put it on upside down because honestly, I don't have, it's just self-tapped into sheet metal, so it's really not supporting anything just as against the building itself. But I made these standoffs, and I get around the other side and get a better look at them here. I made these standoffs out of 3/16 angle iron. It's 3-inch wide angle iron. I just got a stick of that, cut it down into 3 pieces for each one, and they're actually bolted solid to the structure of the building, and they're not, so I mean they're plenty strong enough. And like I said, I have 3 of those going up the side of the building at every one of the cross members that go across on this steel building, and then they're held on with their hangers from the company. And boy, I'll tell you right now, I don't know if you've bought any of this. This is 8-inch double wall stainless steel flue. I don't know if you've bought any of this stuff recently, but man, is it salty. I was in severe sticker shock when I went and picked that stuff up, or went and ordered it. Holy man, I was not ready for that. But yeah, you gotta be prepared for that price when you get there. But well worth it to give me some more consistent heat in the world headquarters here, and also cheaper heat. Price of coal is considerably cheaper than the price of diesel fuel, as you all are very well aware. There is one other thing I guess I could mention is when I did this, I had to replace all the fire brick. And when I did that, I ordered it off of their jungle site, and I ordered some that I thought was the right stuff, claimed to be the right stuff. But I don't know if I mentioned, I think I mentioned, I've been firing this thing for about a month now, a little more than that now. That fire brick I put in there did not hold up at all. It basically fell apart within a few weeks, or within about 2.5 weeks, it was shot. It was actually crumbling and falling apart, so it was not rated for the heat that they claimed to be rated for, because it was a high temp fire brick. And I have not fired it that crazy or anything, so it was all falling apart, cracking and breaking. So I ended up shutting it down, cleaning it out again, and I went to a local vendor here, a local home and hearth place that sells furnaces, and he had fire brick in stock. I bought off of him and instantly noticed that it was way, way heavier fire brick than what I had had. It just had a denser feel and more weight to it, and way more solid. So I've switched it out since then to that, and that's been in there for a good week now, and it's only been a week, but it just seems nicer, better, much better brick. So hopefully that solves that one and only dilemma we really had with it. It's been working good since then. The only thing I can say is it's been a learning curve for me on the coal-fired furnace. Not a bad learning curve, but a little bit of a learning curve, trying to figure out exactly how to fire it and bank it off and do all that. I think I've got that pretty well figured out. So now I can close her down for the evenings and come back 12, 14, even 16 hours later, give it a shakedown, stoke it right back up, and fire it again. So I am very pleased with this install. I think, as I said, once I get more and more insulation into the building, it's just going to pay off more and more dividends as far as keeping the building comfortable to work. When you live in the central Pennsylvania area, where winters are what they are, they can be cold and drastic, and this is going to be big time help, I think. So again, I hope you like the build. I appreciate everybody watching. If you did like it, please hit that like button. Doesn't cost you anything. It really helps the channel. If you want to continue to see more videos from Headgear Garage, please consider subscribing. That also helps the channel out, and it helps you get the latest notifications for the videos. As I said, thanks again for watching. From Headgear Garage, we're out. See you next time.